Hello and welcome everyone, my name is Helden and today we are looking at meta of 0.2.0 update for Path of Exile 2 day 1. So basically, what are the ascendancies, what are the skills that people are using in the first day of the dawn of the hunt. It is almost a complete day, so almost 24 hours since the release of the patch, and there are many people who are starting maps currently, so we can see more stats about it. But still, you need to understand that big chunk of population is still in campaign, and these stats that we do have on PoE2 Ninja, they are not full because PoE Ninja does not aggregate all players. You need to have some additional changes in your options of your account in order for PoE Ninja to get your information. So that is the disclaimer. But still, let's look at the trade league, a softcore trade league for Dawn of the Hunt. We see a very strong presence of Amazon and Leech here. So only two Ascendancy classes contain of 60% of the population that currently hit somewhat high levels, and this is quite wild. And the wildest thing here is that Stormweaver is so down below 0.7 after the nerf, even though Stormweaver is currently one of the highest in terms of levels. Yet again, we may not see all the characters from the ladder because not everyone has their options made available for PoE Ninja, but it is still level 85. Stormweaver is still present in here. When it comes to SSF, we do have a lot of Smiths of Kitava, a lot of Amazons and Leeches as well, and we don't really see Stormweaver in here. But yeah, just in general, we definitely see the interest in Amazon, who was clearly powerful whenever they revealed the subclass for this character. And Spears, the hot new thing, more of a fast-paced melee weapon with a lot of different skills, a lot of different playstyles. Amazon can be utilized with bows as well, because yeah, it is quite a versatile subclass, and the class in general is very versatile. And then Leech, of course, with the addition of Spectres to the game, and with just a lot of different interest in Chaos spells, as they were not really... Some of them were nerfed, some of them weren't, and some of them were even buffed. And Leech specializes in Chaos, different shenanigans, and with minions. So yeah, let's see and then there's even on softcore trade league, Smith of Kitava is still on the 3rd place because probably of how good of a starter it is with all the cheap resistances and different stats that you can get from his talents. Currently, many of his skills that are active ones from talents, they are not really good, or they aren't working properly. Now let's see at the SSF part. So 32 Amazon, 19% Leech. It is still 60%. Oh no, I'm very sorry. It is 50% in here with a little bit of on top of that, and 11% Smith of Kitava, with some other classes being more equally distributed, but not by much. Okay, and now let's look at main skills. But to be honest, with main skills, you need to understand that with Path of Exile 2, it is harder for the game to understand which skill is the main for your character because of how the multiple 5-6 links works. But because this is a start of the league, we probably don't have a lot of characters that have multiple 5 and 6 links, and that's why we can really gather some information from this data point. And now we see Gas Arrows, Essence Drain, which is Chaos skill for Leech. Contagion, of course, goes with Essence Drain together. Twister, this is one of the new pseudo range skills for the from Spears. Then Perfect Strike, which was always very powerful for melee maces. Freezing Salvo, Bone Shatter. Bone Shatters, yeah, you really need to use that skill in order to clear on your maces as well. And then there's like Herald, Artillery Ballista, Galvanic Shards. Galvanic Shards is one of the most popular starters for the crossbows. Lightning Spear, it is kind of fun ability with spears. Whirling Slash, yet again more spears. Hammer of the Gods, even though it was nerfed, it is still present in here. You just need to build stuns in order to cast it. Mace Strike, just a regular one. Rake, this is a bleed spear skill. Despair, of course, for all the users of chaos skills. Stormcaller Arrow, Shock Burst rounds, and then the percentage drops a lot. And this is when it comes to Trade League. Now in Solo Self-Found, Rake is way higher. Essence Drain, Perfect Strike, yet again. So we see all these tendencies, and to be honest, with the way how Path of Exile 2 skill system works, it is kind of hard to play without some particular skills if you're playing on some weapon. So it's very obvious that something like Perfect Strike will be present here. Then yet again, Twister, Lightning Spear, Contagion for Essence Drain, Bone Shatter for maces, Stormlance, Galvanic Shards, Gas Arrow, Explosive Spear. To be honest, this one is more new, and then there's like all 2 percentages, but Rake is very high in here, so there is probably a lot of bleeding characters, and maybe some other stuff that I'm not aware of that you can make, that you can do on Rake, but Rake in itself is a bleeding skill. Okay, and now let's just go through a little bit some of Ascendancies, look what people play on them. So Amazon is Gas Arrow, very high. Twister, very high. Freezing Salvo, projectile stuff yet again. Then Herald, which is a completely different thing. So Lightning Spear and Whirling Slash, with Stormlance being kind of high as well. And then Rake, Explosive Spear. Yeah, but just basically you see this big uptrend in Gas Arrow, Twister, Freezing Salvo, and Lightning Spear. And Whirling Slash, to be honest, it is quite high as well. So the skills that you may be interested in looking up in build guides for Amazon, or yeah. Then Leech goes with, of course, Essence Drain and Contagion, to be honest. And yeah, we see here that not a lot of minions made it up to highest levels, because minions got nerfed a lot, and people who understood that minions with even lower survivability, with how bad their AI is, they're not gonna be a whole lot of fun whenever you're trying to push levels and you're trying to push your starting, which made chaos skills be so highly populated. And then it's Dark Effigy that yet again goes to just your regular chaos caster, Withering Presence again, and only 5% for Skeletal Storm Mages, Raging Spirits, Snipers. So minions are at a way lower point for Leech, and Chaos skills are very high in use. And then Smith of Kitava is, of course, Perfect Strike, Bone Shatter, Hammer of the Gods, Mace Strike, Lip Stem. This is basically the combination that that many of these builds will use. These are not different skills, these are not different builds. This is one that, or a couple that incorporate many of them. And yeah, this is just like basic Mace enjoyers decided to go with Smith of Kitava in order to start the league. Then Deadeyes are yet again Gas Arrow, Freezing Salvo, Lightning Arrow, Galvanic Shards, Stormcaller Arrow, and Shock Burst rounds with Lightning Rod. So, and some Wind Dancer, but just in general, Ranger and Deadeye Ranger is still tied very heavily to bows and crossbows. Now when it comes to, do we even want to look at Titan? It's kind of obvious, it is regular, but here we see a bit more totem action going on as well. But other than that, it's just regular mace build. With Gemming Legionnaire, it's Ballistas and Gas Grenade, Explosive Grass, or Grenadier. Which, yeah, again, was a very popular build before. With Tactician, one of the new subclasses, it is mostly Artillery Ballista with some additional crossbow, either complementary or maybe self-sustained builds without the Ballista, because you can go with Tactician without any summons as well, even though it may not be the most powerful. But yeah, it is not it is nothing new that tacticians go that way. With Warbringer, it's mostly totems and basic melee stuff with some war cries as well. Yeah, you can go with war cries for sure. Infernalist is only at 2% population rate, and there's the snipers, hounds, arsonists, skeletal mages, some of essence drain, but mostly it is just a summoner, even though it is a very low percentage in regular in just in use. Ritualist, if you are interested in this, yet again, new ascension, twisters, gas arrows, whirling slash, lightning spear. So either bow or a spear. This is what it uses. And you don't really see a, let's be honest here, Invoker is at 2% popularity, and it uses Ice Strike, Tempest Bell, yeah, Stormweave, Charge Stuff, just in general, regular quarter stuff, elemental skills, with, of course, Bell as a trigger, but the amount of Invokers, to be honest, is very, very low, especially compared to previous League. Energy Shield was nerfed, Green Fist, the talents of Invoker, a lot of that stuff was nerfed. That's why its presence is way lower, and anything that goes that goes even lower in terms of percentages, I'm not even gonna show. So this is currently the meta for 0.2.0 in the first day. So yeah, stay tuned. Thank you for watching. Hope you're having a good time. Bye.